So I have been primarily shooting with Sony cameras since 2020, all the way back with the good old A7 III. And I must say, from all of the experience I've gained from 2020 until now, I mean it when I say you do not have to shoot everything in S-Log 3. Let me say it again. You do not have to shoot everything in S-Log 3. Now, as far as S-Log 3 is concerned, it is going to give you the best image. It is going to give you the most flexibility in editing as far as pushing and pulling colors, recovering highlights, details in the shadows, all that good stuff, right? But every single project does not require the capability that S-Log 3 gives you with your camera, and it can actually hinder you in certain areas, mainly delivery time, to be honest with you, just having to grade it. It could be noisier than things like S-Cinetone and the standard picture profile. And I just think that given we're moving to a space, I think, with content where getting it out, especially for the client, getting it out to the client is more beneficial to them than having the tip top graded footage. Now, again, I get that, especially with me being a working professional, that my name is on anything that I edit. So if you get it from me, you're gonna say you got it from me, and I'm gonna want it to look the best. However, at the same time, just in my experience, I've realized that S-Cinetone and the standard picture profile, which is PP off, work better in certain scenarios. I just think that the days of using S-Log 3 for everything are no more. Granted, I do mainly weddings and video podcasts. So with weddings, it's going to be kind of hard for me to move away from S-Log 3. I'll just say that because I don't know the situation and scenario I'm going to be in. I may start off in a hotel room, and I may go to a ballroom or a church where the lighting sucks, or it's different things going on, like LED lights. I did a wedding back in September. They had this like purple LED. I hated it. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's going to be harsh sunlight coming in, windows, things like that. So again, I say all that to say, getting away from S-Log 3 on weddings is probably something I probably won't do, because I feel like I might need that maximum flexibility in editing to make sure things look good, right? Events, not so much. Certain events like birthday parties and things like that, like, again, if lighting is the issue, if you're gonna have bright lights coming through a window or harsh sunlighting outdoors, I think you should stick with S-Log 3. But if you got that client that they're just like geeking and like get that footage fast, even in those situations, if you can expose S-Cinetone, and you have to really kind of think it through, because even if you're like in one, say one vantage point and you expose it, think about if you're moving, if direct sunlight, and if the sun catches your image and things might look washed out. You gotta think about all that before you make the decision to go S-Cinetone or standard picture profile. Because once you do that, it's no coming back, right? S-Log 3 is going to save you, or at least be better for you in those scenarios. But like I was saying, I think in this day and age, it's all about how fast can you get it out while having it look the best that you can make it look. And I find that, like I said, with weddings, I'm not really gonna get away from S-Log 3, but with video podcasts, the same as this setup, YouTube setup, it's more of a controlled lighting. I'm currently filming this in S-Cinetone. I just filmed the video for my last channel, S-Cinetone, because I want to just edit it. I want to chop it up, make sure the audio is straight, which with this microphone, link in the description, this audio is going to be pretty much good without me having to really do much of anything. So I think that, what I'm saying, got a good mic, no noise, voice sounds good. If I add ready to go footage with that for my YouTube videos, I'm good to go. I can just, boom, upload it, worry about my thumbnail, tags, title, all that other stuff. I'm not sitting here spending time grading a YouTube video. Why are we grading YouTube videos in 2026? I don't think it's a point, unless you're trying to show off your skills. Maybe you're selling a LUT, or maybe you just want your footage to look a certain way. And I will say, if you are more into stylized looks and things like that, stick with S-Log 3 because you're going to have, of course, more dynamic range. You're going to be able to put more of a grade on it. Now, one thing I will say about S-Cinetone, most people just look at it like it's either or. S-Cinetone has dynamic range as well. It's just not as good and as flexible as S-Log 3. You know what I mean? It's not going to save you if you clip your highlights. You can clip your highlights past the point where S-Log 3 won't save you either. However, you have more flexibility. Another thing I'll say against against S-Log 3 is if you underexpose, trying to lift up those shadows and those blacks, you're gonna have noise in your footage like no other. And I don't really use a denoiser on a regular. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't have DaVinci. I do have CapCut, but I don't run everything through CapCut. Like I don't really like to denoise footage like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes with S-Log 3, even in wedding receptions where the lighting is poor, like I find like sometimes it looks hideous. You know what I mean? Where standard picture profile in S-Cinetone, really the noise, it's really better noise performance than S-Log 3, in my opinion. Probably somebody in the comments will tell me I don't know what I'm doing. But especially with standard picture profile, the difference between standard and S-Cinetone is a little bit more flat than standard. Standard is like really ready out of the box. Good contrast, good saturation. You can tweak that thing in camera to make it just look like boom. Like it's a little bit more video look to it than S-Cinetone. S-Cinetone is a little bit like softer, especially with the colors, but you can always boost that stuff in post. But between S-Cinetone and standard, especially with YouTube videos, things that you want to deliver to clients quickly, certain events, quick turnaround time, I think that we're at the point where we gotta consider really moving away from S-Log 3 if it's not really needed. Now, granted, if you do want things to look more cinematic, again, if you do want to put heavier color grades on things, you want your super duper orange and teal looks and things like that, or if you want to use majority of the LUTs you may buy from your favorite creator, you may need to go with S-Log 3, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, just want to have that flexibility, or if you use certain looks, you're used to a certain look, you want to grade your footage to look a certain way. Again, if you're dealing with bright windows, harsh sun. Now, another thing too, so I do, like I said, I do video podcasts where I use 4 different cameras, got my FX3, 2 A7 IVs, and a Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Now, they say that when you're matching cameras, it's better to use S-Log 3 because I know for a fact S-Cinetone looks slightly different coming out of between the A7 IV and the FX3. It looks slightly different. I haven't really compared it with the Sony ZV-E10, but if you really want to dial in like a precise, consistent edit between different Sony cameras, I too would also probably go with S-Log 3. And I don't want to contradict myself because I really, even with my video podcast, like it's such a fast turnaround time and there's so much I have to do with audio because I'm still using wireless microphones instead of boom mics that I rather not have to do much with the color. It'll frighten me as far as the skin tones, but they also say that S-Cinetone is better for skin tone. So I may just bite the bullet and record one with S-Cinetone and just hope for the best. I'm a real big, as far as my video podcast, I'm a real big, base ISO guy. Like my main shot, which is normally wide, I'm using 12,800 so I can really crank up that aperture so everything's in focus, even though when I use my Sigma lens, I get a lot of focus breathing, but that's a whole nother topic. A7 IVs on the side, 32 base ISO, dial those things into 2.8. It's looking good, you know what I'm saying? 2500 on the Sony ZV-E10 II. Now, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know the base ISOs offhand. I think for S-Cinetone, I think it's 102,000. Actually, I do know. It's 102,000 for the FX3. It's 125 and 500 for the A7 IV. Don't know it for the Sony ZV-E10. But again, I have used S-Cinetone a few times, and I've used standard mode. I've used S-Cinetone a few times, and I really didn't find it to be any noise at all. Now I remember the very first time I used S-Cinetone, and let me just say, I'm a real big histogram exposure type of guy, right? So I remember where I kind of made a mistake where I, looked at the histogram, it was perfect. When I watched the footage back, I noticed that the background was still a little bit visible. It wasn't blown all the way out. And my two subjects that were, doing like a red carpet type of thing, they were kind of dark. And I said, dag, see, that's the benefit of S-Cinetone being, that's the benefit of S-Log3 being outside, because ideally I could have had detail in the back and had them exposed properly. But I thought by reading the histogram that I was exposed properly, but what I was really getting was the majority of that background that was lit up, right? And the subjects were kind of dark. And I could bring them up, but it didn't really look good to my eye. So I'm not gonna lie to you. That was back in 2023. That's when I was like, you know what? It gotta be S-Log3 every time. But I just now know from trial and error and just kind of just going through the motions of experience that, either gotta blow out that background a little bit when using S-Cinetone or standard to get the proper exposure on, your subject, or you just gotta go S-Log3. That's it. I mean, it's nothing to it but to do it. So basically, the whole point of this video is for me to just say, if you're a creator and you're just like kind of tired of using S-Log3 all the time, but you feel like you have to, you do not have to. I was actually contemplating switching from Sony because I just thought I had to use S-Log3. I was kind of getting sick of it. And that's before I kind of got like efficient with it. I'm pretty good with it now. In more controlled lighting situations like this situation, YouTube video, like video podcast, anything with a fast turnaround time, I don't give a damn if it's harsh sunlight. If they're pressing me for a fast turnaround time, I'm probably gonna do that thing in S-Log3, unless the lighting is so bad that I'm sorry, I said S-Log3. Anything with a fast turnaround time, I'm probably gonna do that in S-Cinetone, because even if the lighting is so bad, like I said, we're moving into a time where like we already been microwave society for a minute, but people just want things fast. They just want it fast. And one thing, I hate to dumb things down because again, my name is on it. But at the same time, if the quality is good, they will love it. They'll love you for it. But if the quality is great, they'll love you for it. But if the quality is good and they got it fast, they're gonna love you for that more. I guarantee you, they're gonna love you for that more. So definitely don't cut no corners. Definitely use S-Log3 when you want things to look its best. You're doing heavy grades. You want that orange and teal, whatever magical look from your favorite LUT. You're dealing with a crazy scene where the lighting is just unpredictable, or you don't know what you're going to be getting yourself into. Harsh sunlight, bright windows. You want exposure out the window. Stick with S-Log3. But if you got that fast turnaround time, shooting YouTube videos, content for Instagram, interviews, talking head, basic events, recaps, short things, client work, quick delivery, you want it to look a little cinematic, but you kind of don't need it to look a little cinematic. Just go with S-Cinetone. I'm telling you, it's going to save you a lot of stress. I know grading isn't the biggest thing, especially if you're a working professional and you've been doing it for a while like me, but it's something. It's not everything, but it's something. It's time off your hands. Like, do yourself that favor. Even if you don't full-fledged, you'll never be able to full-fledged give up on S-Log3. You shouldn't. But work S-Cinetone, work that standard picture profile into more of your work. And just, your workflow, and just use it when necessary. And I guarantee you, it's going to make you a better creator. It's going to make you a more it's just going to be more sensible. And you'll start to figure out going into a shoot, okay, I can do this in S-Cinetone, or I should do this in S-Cinetone, or I should do this in S-Log3. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and leave this video at, man. If you did find this video beneficial to your business, to your content creation self, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, do you use S-Cinetone? Are you hip to the standard picture profile? I don't know if you follow Told by Nick on Instagram. He put me onto that through a post he put. I was like, damn, standard picture profile kind of looks better than S-Cinetone. So Check out that PP off. That's the standard picture profile if you never did that as well. But tell me what you think about this video, man. Subscribe for more videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.